My name's Richard Harkness, and our property is Gumborough Park at Chintanara in the southeast of South Australia. We run 7,000 merinos with a merino stud attached, crop about 4,000 acres and over 8,000 or 9,000 acres. So we're feeding the new yards in exactly the same spot as we've fed the old yards. And though, like most people's yards, they'd seen the better times, and most of the time it would take two people to do a job in the yards, and there's not always two people around to do a particular job. So we needed some efficiencies, and so a set of Pro yards with a good design, and now probably between 80 and 90% of the jobs could be a one-man operation. And that was a key component for us. But with a good design and good yards, the flexibilities are far greater. I've had Jono Withers come out on site when the old yards were still here, and we set about the task then of identifying the area that we could utilise and what design we might like, and how we're going to get them in the shed and how we're going to get them in the yards. So they're the basic steps to start with, and then the whole design's got fine-tuned after that. Well, with the plan always on the laptop, any adjustments made could be done relatively quickly, so the technology available to do that planning was first class. With a bugle design, it's a tried and proven method of getting sheep to flow, and so they obviously flow really well here, with the key point being that as they compress into the draft area, that gap is not too wide. As soon as the pens get a bit wide, they'll swirl and your efficiency's compromised. So certainly the widths here are not too wide, and sheep certainly do flow nicely. So we've got a mini race off the end of our draft here. That is basically a workstation for our sheep handler. But if we wish to draft that side straight through across here, this gate here pulls across, and we can conventionally draft normally without having to shift the sheep handler, or it could have been a weigh crate, or it could have been an auto drafter which can remain in place and still draft normally. So that's one workstation here. We've got power right to it, coming drop down from the roof, and then our other workstation is over at the bulk handler. And once again, we've got power, everything over there, lights. If we need a laptop for records, or if we need an air compressor, it's all in the yards here now. I think two drafts, two working stations in a new set of yards adds to the efficiency that you can get, and it doesn't actually cost that much more to factor that in. We've got multiple drafts, so we've got a draft over in the classing race there that we can draft ewes and lambs off to feed up into the bulky. Once again, another draft at the end of the classing race if required, just to take any culls out or the tops off. These gates push across here and feed the bulk handler straight off the end of the race. So rams and weaned lambs we'd probably feed up the race. Shorn ewes, shorn lambs, straight in through here. Once it's loaded, gates are shut. It's just a matter of pulling the rope, which activates the lifter to go up, fully up, in the working position now. Do whatever activity you need to do, all without bending over, and all without wrestling any sheep. Once that's done, you just reverse the process. Then as it goes down, they start to find their feet. It's fully down now, gate released down the bottom there, and gate opened, out they go, slam the gate shut, repeat the process. So we would do everything in the bulk handler, which is drenching, vaccinating, backlining, mouthing, tagging, and you don't have to carry a heavy drench pack on your back. Everything just hangs up here, whether it's your vaccine or your drench. But the beauty with the bulk handler is it is only a one-man job. one-person job, I should say, because you don't require two people here at all. It pretty much loads itself, and so that is the beauty of this, as against a lot of sheep handlers which require two people, one to do the operation and one to keep the sheep flowing. Here you don't actually need flow as such. They load themselves, so first class in terms of labour efficiency, because it's just one person required. The safety factor by building these yards is very important for not only our family members but also our employees, stock agents, whoever might come in the yards, that they're not going to cut a finger or they're not going to trip over anything, and the dogs, the sheep themselves are quite safe in here. They don't try and take them on, and so there's a big saving there, and that should be the case for many years to come. I certainly found ProWay, the company, really good to deal with. Their use of technology to explain designs, to explain how it's going to fit, to build, to freight, to erect, all those things, and we've got a high quality product at the end. So no, first class. Once the deal was done, the follow-up and the execution was equally as good. I think if your existing sheep yards are on the tired side, a set of ProWays would be ideal, and doesn't matter how big or small they are, it would be an excellent idea in the current environment of the merino industry to consider it. Many operations these days would finance second-hand tractors, brand new tractors, and so this is no different. You do have to think of it as an equipment purchase, not a luxury item. Everyone wants to drive a new tractor, so a new set of yards, everyone wants to play in a new set of yards. So far there's no shortage of volunteers coming to have a go.